no time to waste. Let's get it going as quickly as possible. These are the predictions for this weekend's Premier League games in the English Premier League. Let's just get it going. First game, West Ham Newcastle. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win for West Ham. Of course, West Ham pushing for the Champions League. Newcastle pushing to make sure they're not in the championship next season. But I do think that Eddie Howe's men are going to come out and stuck here. It's going to be a great game, I believe. But, I just think that West Ham are going to have just a little bit too much for Newcastle. And even though, West Ham have had some strange results with that loss against Leeds and that draw against Leicester City, I still think that Newcastle are going to come unstuck today, and I think West Ham are going to get that tomorrow, and West Ham are going to get that 2-1 victory at home against Newcastle. With Arsenal-Brentford, of course, Brentford in free fall these last couple of months, actually last couple of 3-4 months or so, actually they've been in free fall, and Arsenal have actually been looking better and better as the season has gone on, and with all the other teams in the top 4 race stumbling, West Ham and Man United and Tottenham, and Wolves, they all look shaky. They've all looked shaky in recent games, in some of their games recently. And I think Arsenal are in the pole position right now as it stands. Arsenal are in pole position. Of course, that can change really quickly based on other people's form changing and their form changing as well. They only play that many games in February. I think this is going to be their last game in February before, because of people playing the Carabao Cup final and people playing the FA Cup. Arsenal not involved in any of those, or European matches as well. Arsenal not involved in any of those as well, so they don't really have that many games going on, but they do have this game against Brentford, which I think is their last game in February, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to go for a shock here, even though Arsenal the fact that Arsenal have only played twice in 30 days, I think that's going to tell. I think you want to, like I said this before, you want to get anywhere between probably 7 to 10 days. You want to get that's like the peak before it starts going down from, if you get 7 days or 10 days, that's like peak of you being that fit and being well rested as well. Then once you go past that, you start to, feel a little bit, and, to not having enough games can be a hindrance the farther away you get from your games. You don't want to space them out way too much. And I think Arsenal have them really spaced out this month. I think that's going to tell in this game. It's not going to be like the Arsenal-Burnley game where Arsenal just couldn't find anything, and Burnley almost got them in the last minute, but couldn't take their chance there at 0-0. I think this one's going to be I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I was going to go for a 2-2 draw, but, let's go for a 2-2 draw. Why not? Listen, it's a 2-2 draw. I know it just feels like Brentford are just, dying to death slowly in what it's starting to look like a relegation battle for them, but I think Arsenal are going to come unstuck in that game. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in that game. Aston Villa against Watford. Watford have just been so bad this season. This is their third manager, I believe, now. I still don't know why they sacked the first one. I thought that was a big mistake, and they brought in Claudio Ranieri. That didn't work out, so now they brought in Roy Hodgson, which is, for me, the English version of Claudio Ranieri anyway, so I don't know what the thought process is that. On the other hand, Aston Villa have had a manager change, but that has been actually a great decision, and Steven Gerrard doing great things for them. Jacob Ramsey looking amazing. Buendia is getting back into the game, starting to actually contribute. And then, of course, the big man who came in from Barcelona on loan, Philippe Coutinho, continues to grow from strength to strength, and continues to prove the doubters wrong. I am one of them, but he continues to prove me wrong. So, more power to him. And then, of course, you got Ings and Watkins, who have actually definitely struggled, and of course Martinez isn't as secure as he used to be. But looking at the Watford struggles and looking at what Aston Villa have been able to do since Gerrard came in, I would be remiss not predicting a Aston Villa win. I'm gonna go for 3-1 to the Villa, up the Villa, and they're gonna win that 3-1. That's my prediction. Brighton against Burnley. Of course, Brighton the 1-1 specialists, but today I predicted 1-1 in the last game they played, which was a game against Man United, actually, on Tuesday. That didn't actually happen. I don't think it's going to be 1-1 this time. I do think it's going to be Brighton winning this game. Burnley definitely have to get going at some point. They are still at the foot of the table, and they can say they have. So whatever how many games in hand they have, but I definitely rather have the points to the games because some of those games in hand are against Man City and Liverpool. Well, not Liverpool anymore, but against like Man City and against Chelsea, and like you're not gonna win those games anyway. So those aren't really games in hand. Those are games in hand for the other teams because they're gonna beat you. So they have to get going somewhere. I don't think it's going to be this one. I think Graham Potter's men are going to have just a little bit too much Mbappe and Danny Welbeck and Trossard and Cucurella. I think they're all going to be smarting from that defeat at Old Trafford, which was definitely a disappointing defeat for them. I wouldn't say they were unlucky because they weren't, because they didn't really take their chances. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to be smarting from that defeat, and I think they're going to come into this game and they're going to get a result and they're going to get a win. Actually, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for Brighton against Burnley. And then we got Palace-Chelsea. Chelsea back in action after becoming the first game since they became the world champions. And it's funny because this was Patrick Vieira. The reverse fixture was Patrick Vieira's first game ever as a Premier League manager. It was a 4-0 hammering at Stamford Bridge. I think he's definitely learned his lessons since then. Those many more games under his belt have definitely made him a better coach in the Premier League and a better coach in general. And I do think that this is going to be a really, really difficult game for Chelsea. I think this might be the game Chelsea, officially, obviously it wouldn't be mathematically official, but I feel like this might be the game where 3 becomes 2 for sure. I think if Chelsea did not win this game, I think they can forget about the Premier League title, and I think they're already forgetting about it anyway, but I think they can for sure forget about it if they don't win this game. And you know what? It's a tough one because Palace haven't actually been in as good form as they were a couple months ago. If it was a couple months ago, I would actually be going for probably a Palace win to shock Chelsea, because Chelsea did have a very torrid January and a not so certain December either. So, but it does look like they've come out of it a little bit. Still, it's a tough one because it still just feels like you never know. Palace, Selhurst at any time. Of course, Chelsea have a great record against Palace, but you just never know, really. I mean, Palace that one season they didn't score a single goal. I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was the 17-18 season, the season after Chelsea won the Premier League title actually, and Palace hadn't even scored a single goal, let alone got a point. But then they beat Chelsea 2-1, so you never know how this game could turn out. I am gonna, however, with all that being said, I am going to have to go for it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one for sure. But I am going to go for a Chelsea win, 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Probably should have gone draw, but I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Then the next one, Liverpool-Norwich. I don't think this one's that close. I'm not going to waste much time talking about it. Norwich, of course, we know where they are. They've definitely had some... they've had a renaissance in the last couple of weeks, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Dean Smith, man, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Liverpool will definitely take in this one. I was debating between 4 and 5, but I stuck with 4-0. I'm going to go because I don't really like Liverpool much. So, yeah, they only get to score 4 goals. So 4 goals for Liverpool. 4-0 against Norwich. And Southampton, Everton. Ooh, that's a tasty one, of course. Southampton, of course, for that, coming off that draw at Old Trafford, in a really good performance for them. And then Everton, of course, coming off that 3-0 victory over Leeds. Yeah, both teams came off victories, came off good results against the teams playing on Sunday, Leeds United and Man United. So that's going to be an intriguing contest at St. Mary's. I am going to go for I have a sneaky feeling here that Everton are not going to lose this game, even though Southampton are a very, very capable team and they're very, very good at home. Exactly. We saw what they did to Man City in that game, and they were very quite unfortunate to not win that game. But I am going to go for a 1-0 draw in that game between Southampton and Everton. I think it's going to be a good game, but I just think that both teams, despite the fact that they definitely are good football playing teams, especially with the addition of Frank Lampard to Everton, I just think, and Donny van der Beek and Dele Alli, I just think that, come to think about it, maybe I should trust Everton a little bit more. I just feel like they're not going to be able to pull it off. We saw them in the last away game, and they looked quite fragile, and I just think that they're not going to be able to pull it off. But I don't think they're going to lose. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And then we got, of course, the tasty one, the big one, on Saturday. Tottenham traveling to the Etihad Stadium to get steamrolled and stir-fried by the champions and the leaders and the champions-elect, Manchester City. And like I said, deep-fried, stir-fried, steamrolled, whatever it is you want to call it. 3-0, let's move on. Honestly, I'm not going to waste any more time. Antonio Conte is not going to taste the same victory he tasted his first ever visit to the Etihad against Pep Guardiola. That's not going to happen this time. It's going to be 3-0. Thanks for coming, Tottenham. And maybe next time, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Great result for Man United, by the way. That result against Spurs, that's a great result for United, of course, because Spurs are in a better position than we are right now. Looking at the number of games they have left, the number of games we have left, the number of points. But like I always say, I would rather have the points any day. But I don't think they get any points this weekend. And the next game, actually, I think we are getting points. Leeds against Man United. I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win for United. I'm probably gonna do a preview tomorrow if I'm not too busy. So yeah, look forward to that one. But yeah, my prediction is 3-1. So I don't want to give any spoilers away. So yeah, 3-1. And then Wolves against Leicester. The last time that this game was exciting, it was really exciting. It was Diogo Jota, who's now at Liverpool, scoring a hat-trick in a 4-3 victory for Wolves against Leicester City. That was a great game. That was an awesome game, actually. And yeah, just Google Wolves against Leicester City. Go on YouTube and just type in Wolves against Leicester City 4-3, and you're going to see it. It was a fantastic game. Great. In fact, after this, I'm going to go watch it again. It was a great game. I don't think it's going to be 4-3 this time because Wolves are very, very solid defensively. The second best defense in the league. I don't think that they're going to be considering any 3 goals. I don't really think that they can score 4 goals either. So I'm going to go for it's tough. Because Wolves, of course, we saw them against Tottenham and they were fantastic. They got that win. They beat United, of course, not too long ago as well. But then we saw them against Arsenal and they were really poor at home. They didn't really create any chances. They didn't really take the ones they did create. They didn't really, put Arsenal under pressure. Even after Arsenal were reduced to 10 men with Martinelli getting sent off, they didn't really put Arsenal under pressure. In our 14 they had a man advantage. So saying that, we didn't do it on Tuesday with Man United against Brighton. So what do you even know about this game? But it is what it is. But I'm torn for sure because Wolves have been quite inconsistent, although they are still in the battle for the Champions League. Leicester City are definitely not. They could rekindle their hopes of European football. They can beat Wolves in this game after that disappointing draw against West Ham. I'm actually going to go for a draw this time. I'm going to go for a 1-0 draw this time. I don't really think that either team scores that many goals. Wolves don't concede that many goals anyway. I think Leicester conceded a lot of goals, but I think they're going to figure it out soon enough and why not start this game. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1. And I believe that's it. Yes, that's it for the fixtures. These were the first, the reverse fixtures were the first fixtures of the season. And it's funny, it's just crazy to see how much different everything looks now going into these games and how they're going to look at the end of these games. Of course, Man United a 5-1 victory at Old Trafford against Leeds. I thought we were going to win it all. We all thought we were going to win it all. And then we brought Ronaldo in and we were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. But it didn't work out that way. And yeah, it is what it is, like I say. And of course, Patrick Vieira getting hammered 4-0 against Chelsea. And then look how good a manager he's become with Palace. So you never know. You never know how these things are going to turn out. But yeah, we just move on, and hopefully I can get some of these predictions correctly. Hopefully the only one I really care about is the Leeds United against Man United. If we can win 3-1, that would be amazing. And yeah, I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. That's just how it is with Man United. But enough of that said. We're just gonna pause for a minute to let everybody who stayed to the end here just go on. Go on and give this a like. And while you're at it, just subscribe to the channel. Why not? Because why not? Why not? Yeah, why not? It doesn't cost you anything. It brings me a lot of joy and a lot of satisfaction. And yeah, let's just put happiness into the world and like this video and subscribe. and have a great weekend of soccer or whatever else you're doing. Enjoy it, because that's what life is all about. Enjoying it. Till the next time.